Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Tony Plays The Binding of Isaac. Hope everyone's doing good. Everyone's chilling, going about their day nice and lovely. Today, we're gonna be doing something mad easy, mad boring, you might even say. Just regular old Lilith. Now, why are we doing just regular old Lilith? Well, because I am rusty. It's been so long, dare I say. I want to say, I'm not even fucking with y'all. I have not recorded Isaac for literally almost an entire week. 6 days, to be exact. Last episode I recorded was on a Tuesday. It is now Monday the 28th. So you know what that means. An entire week has passed, and I am back from my adventures at Comic-Con. It was very fun, very nice. Love to go again next year. Hopefully this time we'll get a hotel closer to the actual convention center, because Jesus Christ, the freaking walking I had to do, Lord Almighty. I definitely did not, my body was not trained when we first got there, but I was good. I was good by the time we left. You feel me? Might be thinking, Tony, what happened? What do you mean? Hope all is well, by the way, with everyone. I have barely been able to, honestly, even do anything. I've low-key been yearning for Isaac. I'm gonna be so real. I have been wanting to record Isaac for a minute now. And the reason being is because I actually really enjoy recording these episodes, you know? Believe it or not. I actually really very much enjoy recording these Isaac episodes. I think they're very fun, and they have become an integral part of my day. Of my regular Tony's daily life. And so not being able to do it for a whole week just kind of feels weird, you know what I mean? It just feels a little weird to not have been able to record any Isaac. I'm not even joking. It got to the point where I remember I think I was just hanging out with a friend, cause it was me, my brother, and then 3 of my other friends. No, 4. My bad. I don't know why I counted me and my brother as 3 people. It was me, my brother, and 4 of my other friends. We all managed to somehow snag some crazy. If you know anything about Comic-Con, I think I've mentioned it before or whatever, but it's like a lottery system sort of deal. So if you sign up, you can't just queue up to get the tickets. You have to get into the queue, and then from there it's randomly chosen if you get in or not. So me and my brother and 4 other friends managed to all get in queue, and we were able to buy, they had enough stock, luckily, to buy enough tickets for all of us to be able to go on the same days, you know what I mean? We're all able to go, not every single day, but the 3 days we went. Off of pure luck. I'm gonna be so real. Off of legitimately pure luck, we were able to go. All of us, without having to worry about anything like, oh, what's it called? I'm stupid. My brain is shutting off right now as we speak. Without having to worry about one person missing out on a day or something like that. Anyways, regardless of whatever the nonsense that I'm speaking right now, because my mouth, I don't know, I just keep running it. It was a great trip. However, first day we got there was, I got one shot. What the hell happened? I need a bomb. I'm not risking my heart for that, bro. But pretty much, like I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, first day, We got there on Wednesday. We did not have Wednesday tickets, and my friend didn't have his badge. So we decided to go to the convention center and just kind of wait with him to hopefully he can get his ticket. Because if you never got it shipped, if you never got your badge shipped, then you gotta go and just pick it up manually. He did manage to do that. However, me and a few other friends who had already gotten our badges, we were like, oh, let's roam around the convention center. Let's try and find the, see if we can't get some lanyards. We ended up just getting pushed around like everywhere, bro. I'm not even joking. They were like, hey, if you want to get your lanyards, go here. We went there. We went to this specific area. Oh, hey, if some person said we go get our lanyards here, is that true? It's like, no, actually, they moved it and you get to get your lanyards over there. It's like, all right, we go over there to this new area. Hey, this person said we go get our lanyards over here. Is that true? Not that I'm aware of. From what I know, you got to go get your lanyards all the way over here. Now, you might be thinking, Tony, that don't sound too bad. It's horrible because every single area is like a collective, like 1,000 steps from each other, bro. You know what I mean? It's like 1,000 steps from each area to from each hall or whatever you want to call it to the next. So I gotta walk 1,000 steps to go from A to B and then from B to C, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's actually over at H. We walk all the way down to H. That's like a collective, it's not 1,000, it's like 500 steps or something like that. If even. It's just a lot of walking up and down the same row just to ask, hey, is this where we get this? And they're like, oh no, you actually gotta go over there. Hey, we go over there. Hey, is this where you get this? No, you actually gotta go over here. All of this mucking about, you know what I mean? All of this just giving us the runaround just for at the very end, we finally find it's like, oh, you actually want to come here at 12. All right, when you come here at 12, that's when you can go get your tickets. All right, we go to that area at 12 and we ask, hey, can we get can we get our lanyards for our thing? And it's like, oh, let me see your badge. Oh, sorry, you didn't get the badge for today. You gotta come back tomorrow to go get your lanyard. And it's like, we're not gonna do anything. We just want to get the lanyard. You know what I mean? You just want to get the lanyard, bro. And it's like, nah, sorry, you gotta come back 10 years from now, aka a whole 24 hours on what might possibly be our busiest day if you want to get your lanyard. And honestly, I think the main issue that stemmed from all that and my friends was more so, why didn't you just tell us that? You know what I mean? Why didn't you tell us, hey, if you want to go get your lanyard, you gotta come in tomorrow because we can see from your badge you don't have access to today. Why did you gotta go ahead and be like, oh yeah, go over here, oh yeah, go over there, go over here, go over there, just for in the end us to find out, bro, you were never gonna get in to begin with. You feel me? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate is all I'm trying to say. All right. It's just quite the unfortunate circumstance. It's very annoying. And it's like, bro, regardless, first day there, I managed to walk 25,000 steps, something like that. And I'm gonna be so real with y'all. All right. I do enjoy me a nice workout. I do like lifting the weights, picking up heavy objects and putting heavy objects down, you know what I mean? I talk about how, oh, I bought all this stuff for a home gym. You guys know that I fuck with working out and stuff like that. The one thing that I don't fuck with often, because I'm a dumbass, is cardio. I know I should do cardio more often. However, I definitely don't do it as often as I should. And by that, I mean, I barely do cardio. So, that first day there, when I had to walk 25,000 steps, let's just say it was the most I think I've walked in a day. in like a month or two. You know what I mean? 25,000 steps in one day. That's like your average full shift warehouse worker, brother. That is unironically, I think, like 3 times what I walk in a day normally, bro. You feel me? Wait, 3 times? No, I'm selling it short. That's like 4 times. That's like 4 times what I walk in a day. 25,000, bro. I walk like on average maybe 6 to 7K steps a day. You know, not even the full 10 that people are like, oh, you should be striving for 10,000 steps a day. I only go for like 6,000, 7,000, you know? So walking 25,000 steps that first day, bro, I was like, I'm dead. You know what I mean? I'm done. Kill me. This sucks, bro. My legs were killing me at the end of the day. I remember as soon, oh, and it sucked too. We had an early morning flight, so when we got down to San Diego, bro, it was bad. It was bad because I couldn't check into the hotel. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, I'd like to check into the hotel, you know, it'd be nice, great, all fun and dandy, to just check in, relax, put our bags down. Instead, nope, sorry, we don't do check-in until like it was horrible. It's like, we don't do check-in until from like 12 to 2, from 12 o'clock to 2 p.m. Mind you, we had gotten there at like 8:30, 9 a.m. So it was like, to us, what we heard essentially was, yeah, if you want to check into your hotel, you're gonna have to wait roughly, what's it called? If you're lucky, 4 hours, but most likely 6 hours. So you got 6 hours of like no residency in a town that you barely even visit, you know what I mean? I only go to San Diego unless I'm lucky to even have the chance to go to Comic-Con. So essentially, I've only ever been to San Diego like 3 times in my life. And it's like, yeah, you know, it's great and all, but you're kind of done for, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, you're just kind of done for. You got no place to reside in for the meantime. They were nice and they were like, yeah, we can take your bags, we can put them in our in like this area that we have over here. We'll take your bags for the meantime, but unfortunately we do not have a room for you. So that's when we decided, let's roam around, let's go to the convention center, let's walk around the convention center. That's when we were walking around for like an hour and a half, literally just walking for like an hour and a half straight, just seeing what they had. And then we decided for my friend, hey, let's see if we can't get him his ticket or his badge now that he's here in person. And that's when me and my other friends were, oh my god, I'm killing myself. Me and my other friends were like, hey, why don't we see if we can try and get some lanyards? And then that's where the whole endeavor of going up and down the same one freaking aisle just to be told, oh yeah, you were never gonna get your lanyard today, little bro. You know what I mean? The time wasted. It was just mad annoying, but also like, man, damn. You know what I mean? Like, damn. That was a lot of walking. So as soon as we managed to get back to the hotel, bro, I just laid my ass down, and I genuinely think like most of us just took a nap because we were running on empty, bro. We were running on fumes for sleep. Reason being is our flight was at like 6 a.m. So I ended up waking up at like 4 a.m. just to go, you know what I mean? It was tough, man. It was tough. I'm a morning person, and that like I'll wake up at like 6, 7 a.m., but I am not a morning, I'll wake up at 4 a.m. type of person. You feel me? That's just not me. But besides that though, the trip was very fun. Now, I will not be explaining any more stuff as of the moment, just because nothing really comes to mind. I got some cool things, you know. I got a giant Exodia figure because I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Have I told y'all this? Are y'all aware of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Passion, my love for a broken game? I think I might have spoken on this on Twitch years back, but I don't know about on here, on the YouTube channel. But I love the game. I'm gonna be so real with you. You know, to be completely honest with y'all, I am an absolute fiend for Yu-Gi-Oh! It's gotta be, I don't know what it is about the game. I'm gonna be so real with you, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans out there will probably be like, man, the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Sucks, that shit is trash, you know, whatnot. And I'm gonna have to agree to some extent in that I do think it's definitely modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Has gotten way more complicated and harder to kind of market to people because of how complicated it is. And because it's harder to market to people, you got less people playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I mean? It's kind of like a big issue. It's like, I think older Yu-Gi-Oh! Wasn't too horrible. It was pretty simple to understand at sometimes. Maybe some cards were a bit complicated, you know. I could understand the whole tribute summoning, and especially if you were like special summoning certain cards, you know what I mean? Like you needed these rituals and stuff like that. I could definitely understand kind of being like, yeah, this shit's kind of complicated for me. But for the most part, in my opinion, I used to think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is pretty good. I love me some Yu-Gi-Oh! But like I said, I think in recent memory, I think it has gotten a sort of stigma because of the unfortunate side effect, you know, of power creeping in the game. Everything's got more complicated. Is that at like a glance, Yu-Gi-Oh! Just looks way too nerdy or too intimidating to get into, you know what I mean? People want to learn how to play a simple card game. People don't want to be like, okay, here's your first game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to spend my first turn activating 8 different hand traps and 3 different, card effects and a few different spells in order for me to essentially set up the entire board on turn 1, just for you to kind of be like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? It's just not, it's not beginner friendly. It's like Destiny, bro. God, don't get me started. My bad. I don't know how Tony managed to fit in Destiny. That'll be fixed in the new update. But for the meantime, it's just like Destiny, where like it's unfortunate that I think there's a lot of cool games out there with a lot of cool ideas, but they just don't know how to get a new fan base. You know what I mean? Like it's that sort of thing where the benefit of the doubt is given to them when the game comes out, because its whole purpose is, you know, it's a new IP, it's trying to make a name for itself. But then later down the line, it kind of either A, by choice is like, nah, we don't want new players, we're just gonna only cater to the hardcores, or it'll try to cater to the new players, and some games can do it effectively. Some games are Destiny 2 and end up leaving you with the, I want to say, most likely the worst, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not beginner friendly. Yeah, it is. The worst beginner friendly experience, like in video games, you know what I mean? You hop on Destiny 2 and you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I am intimidated. Get me off of this game. You watch someone play a match of modern Yu-Gi-Oh! you're just like, I don't know what's going on. This looks mad intimidating. Get me out of here. You know what I mean? It's the same deal, broski. It's unfortunately the same dealio. In the unfortunate side that... Get off of me. Thank you. Oh, I forgot I have panic equals power. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that item. Okay, like I was saying, my bad, my bad. Like I was saying though, it's just, that's kind of the way Yu-Gi-Oh goes. Which sucks, but you know, not much I can do to change it besides be vocal of my opinion that, yeah, I wish Yu-Gi-Oh was a little bit more beginner friendly, you feel me? But yeah, I'm absolutely huge into Yu-Gi-Oh. The card game, I'm gonna be so real with y'all. The card game, I'm very bad at. I do love my certain archetypes, like I love Elemental Heroes, and I love Cyber Dragon especially. Gotta be one of my favorite archetypes or whatever, you know? One of my favorite deck type is Cyber Dragon deck. But I'm just out of the game, I guess what I'm trying to say, you feel me? Tony's just a bit out of the game when it comes to his Yu-Gi-Oh! Although there is one game in specific that I am completely in the loop in all the time. And that is my Glorious King Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Because I was introduced to that game as a child by none other than my big brother. My brother is insanely into older Yu-Gi-Oh! And what's it called? He's crazy into old Yu-Gi-Oh! And oh my god, what's the word I'm thinking of, man? Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. There you go. Specifically Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. It is, I'm like 99% sure I can say, might be one of his top PlayStation video games of all time. You know what I mean? In my mind, potentially, oh god. My apologies. In my mind, potentially rivaling that of Resident Evil. I'm gonna be so real with you. You know what I mean? And he introduced me to Resident Evil. So I know that he loves that game. He loves the Resident Evil series. But I don't think I've ever seen him play and be so knowledgeable as much about a game as Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. You know what I mean? That's like his game, bro. And honestly, I don't blame him. It's like low-key might be one of the most perfect, not farm games. What's the word I'm thinking of? You know what I mean? It's like a game that you can play and it is easy. You don't have to worry about it too much. Well, it's not easy. Definitely not easy. Definitely not the end. Oh, he might be brain dead. What's the word I'm thinking of? Easy's not the word. Oh, I know. It's a game that you can kind of always have something to strive for. You know what I mean? And the reason being is that the game itself is so notoriously difficult that it would take most people playing, I mean a lot of dedication or a lot of time on their hands to beat. My brother low-key has both because of the fact that he plays it on the PS Vita. It's mad easy and transportable, so he can play it damn near anywhere he wants. And he is completely dedicated to beating that game. He has beaten it before, which is a feat in and of itself if you have ever played Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. And I'm not even joking. If you don't know why I'm like gassing up the game in its difficulty or something like that, I implore you to watch a video. I don't know the name by heart. I think I've already done this, so there's no need. don't know the name by heart, but it is something along the lines of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, the ultimate speedrunning gauntlet, something like that. Let me see if I can't find it real quick before I have to step out, just for a second. All right, let's grab these real quick. Forbidden Memories. It is the ultimate roulette of speedrunning. It is a Forbidden Memories video titled The Ultimate Roulette of Speedrunning. I'm not even joking. I think I have seen the video somewhere along the lines of like at least 6 or 7 times, because it is, one, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, and 2, it is just a really good video. So I implore you to watch it. I'm not even joking. Go watch that video. Be right back though. Hold on, give me a second. I forgot what I was talking about. This is what happens when you go eat dinner in the middle of a recording. Anyways, dinner aside, Side 6 runs pretty alright. I'm not gonna lie, it's cooking in my room right now. I'm kind of upset. So honestly, as soon as I'm done recording, unfortunate circumstances might be no game from Tony, which got me upset because, well, not really, honestly. Nah, never mind. I was gonna leave y'all with a fun fact from Tony here, and it was gonna be that I actually, during the entire trip, I was like, man, I went that entire trip without playing video games. You know what I mean? I'm low-key goated. I did read a bit more, too. However, not true. I did read, but I definitely did not go that entire trip without playing video games. I brought an Xbox so we could play Call of Duty Zombies co-op. And that we did, my friends. I'm gonna be so real with you. There is something, I think, spiritually healing about playing Call of Duty Zombies couch co-op with your friends in a hotel room on a trip. You know what I mean? And it was goated because our hotel our rooms essentially had extra space because we got right next to each other. And you know, since we got the rooms right next to each other, it was kind of like, oh, you guys get to open the door into each other's rooms. You feel me? Essentially making it, what's the word I'm thinking of? Essentially making everything goated. And it was indeed goated. But I gotta say, there is something genuinely spiritually healing about playing Black Ops 2 Mob of the Dead and doing the Easter egg while on a trip. You know what I mean, man? Something about the fact that, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Hotels don't want you to do that shit. That's one thing for sure. That is one thing for sure that I know, and I can definitely remember, is that I don't know why hotels for some reason do not want your ass to do anything other than watch their stupid like programming that they have. You know what I mean? You can either watch the cable channels, or you can watch cable, or you can stick your fucking remote onto the stupid generic, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like the hotel introduction, it's like, we got everything here, you know, you stop on by to the local restaurant, that type. My bad, I had to clear my throat. That type of deal, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, man? It's like they don't want you doing anything other than just browsing and perusing the what's it called? the dumb little thingy. What's the word I'm thinking of? They're like cable channel, you know what I mean? They're like generic hotel cable channel. Because the HDMI cord, like port, was on the back of the TV in like a nigh inaccessible area. And not only that though, the remote, they don't have a source button on them at all. So in order for you to actively change the source, you have to like reach your hand to the back of the TV in like uncharted territory, you feel me? To just try and see what's good, you feel me? You have to stick your hand in uncharted territory in order to even remotely be able to have a chance to, what's the word I'm thinking of? Switch the HDMI source. But luckily we did do that. And it was just annoying. And just overall, it's kind of got me just wondering. You feel me? You know what I mean? It's got me just kind of wondering, like, why? Why are hotels like this? You feel me? You know, a part of me would think, no need, right? Do hotels really give a damn what you do on their own TV? Say you plug in your Xbox and play COD Zombies, or you, I don't even know what else you would plug in, bro. Like your Roku? Who's bringing their Roku? You know what I mean? Who's doing that? So a part of me is just kind of curious, why make it so impossible to access? If it really, like why do y'all give a damn? You know what I mean? Why make it so impossible to access? For what purpose? Is, I guess, my question. You feel me? I don't know. Something to think about. Something to really think about. If y'all know what I mean. But yeah, that's how that went. It was solid. I definitely did not, what's the word I'm thinking of? I definitely am not as sober on video games as I might be leading y'all on to be. You know what I mean? I mainly just did a lot of walking and a lot of looking at my phone. Honestly, was I even looking at my phone that much? I think it was just a lot of walking. And then on the occasion, the ever pulling, I don't even know what I'm saying, TikTok, you know what I mean? The everlasting urge to open up TikTok and see what's popping, you know what I mean? I remember mentioning to my friends, I'm surprised we had managed to keep our TikTok streak up, considering that 4 out of the 7 members in the group chat were on a trip together in the same location, you know what I mean? So it's like, what reason do you have to be sending each other memes? Couldn't you just literally walk over and be like, yo, look at this, you know? You know what I mean? Oh, these kids and always on their phones, you know what I mean? Dang kids always on their phones, bro. Just the world we live in now. Gen Z don't know nothing about a day of hard work. You got soft hands, brother, you know, little bro. It's Gen Z, we say little bro. I'm cringing at myself. Let me stop yapping before I actually want to harm my own self, you know what I mean? Hey! Jesus, man, what was that? Okay, okay. You know what we did watch? Oh my god. I completely forgot about it. You know what we did watch while we were on our trip? First day there, you know, it was nighttime, not really much to do. We decided as a whole, you're like, you know what? One, let's go. I wanted to get some pizza from a place that I heard is insanely good. However, it's kind of like you gotta order that pizza on Wednesday, you know, the day you get there before the Comic-Con festivities start, because every other day it's like what's the word I'm thinking of? It's kind of like you can only order what they made for the day, and if you want something else, you're kind of shit out of luck. So say you wanted anything specific, you would just kind of have to chance it that they like made it that day. But if you got it on Wednesday, you were pretty much guaranteed, is what I'm trying to say. If you got it on Wednesday, you were pretty much guaranteed, hey, you get what you want. So I decided, you know what, I want to try this pizza place out. But I was mad tired from having walked 20,000 steps within the first half of the day, you know what I mean? 20,000 steps, it was barely noon. And once 2 o'clock rolled around, I had already clocked in 25K. And I was like, you know what, man? I just want to relax in the hotel room. I remember laying down in the hotel room, taking a few hour nap, waking up, trying to walk around. Barely could, brother. I could barely move, bro. They had me done for, man. I was genuinely done for. So I decided, F it, you know what? Let's see if they do delivery. Turns out they did do delivery. So we decided to order pizza to the hotel room. And a friend of mine had not seen the movie Happy Gilmore, so we decided to watch Happy Gilmore 1 because Happy Gilmore 2 was going to come out while we were at Comic-Con. And so we watched the first Happy Gilmore. Fucking classic Adam Sandler movie. Alright, I don't care what anyone fucking says. Happy Gilmore is an absolute classic GOAT tier Adam Sandler movie. In my opinion, it's up there with the GOATs such as what's the word I'm thinking of? It's Waterboy, you know. It's classic 90s Adam Sandler, you know what I mean? Those movies, hilarious. And so we watched the movie, thought it was hilarious. 2 days later, Friday rolls around. Guess what? The movie has come out. The freaking Happy Gilmore 2 has released. So we decide, hey, let's watch it, you know? Let's watch it. It just came out on Netflix. Let's go ahead, give it a watch. And I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all, you know? Real Tony opinion here. I didn't think the movie was too bad. I'm gonna be real, I definitely went in with low expectations. I thought it was going to be awful, but the movie wasn't too bad. The only downside I have is that the entire premise of the movie is essentially just... what's the word I'm thinking of? Oh my god, I'm trying to remember. The entire premise of the movie is Mr. Gilmore trying to save the sport of golf and also save himself from being a alcoholic, you know? He wants to amount to something in the eyes of his kids, but it's like bro, your kids love you. You know what I mean? That kind of deal. But the more interesting slash like the part I want to speak on comes in here, where the premise ain't the worst thing ever. What I think sucks is that all of the jokes in the movie are pretty much just, hey, remember the first Happy Gilmore. And what makes it worse is that they will make a joke to the first movie, and a part of me's thinking like, hey, we just saw the first movie, and plus I know the first movie a lot. That's really funny, you know? But then, instead of letting it kind of be like, oh, referential humor, where it's like, hey, remember the first movie, it's, hey, remember the first movie. For all of you who don't remember the first movie, here's a clip of it. They literally implement clips from the first Happy Gilmore into the movie as sort of like context, you know what I mean? Context for anyone who hasn't seen it. And it's like, I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? A part of me is like, if you need context for the movie Happy Gilmore 2, you know what you should do, bro? You should go watch the first Happy Gilmore. It's also on Netflix. Also on Netflix, you know what I mean? Just go peep it. It's not that hard. I don't know, bro. I was a little baffled, is I guess all I'm trying to say. You feel me? A part of me was kind of just like, that's kind of crazy that they would make jokes in reference to the first movie, and then they would like literally just show a clip of the first movie as like a reference and be like, hey, you guys remember that? For anyone that didn't remember that, here's the joke. And it's like, bro, you know what I mean? It was just kind of, I don't know. I don't hate the movie, you know what I mean? I don't hate the movie. I get the part that just kind of got me like, bro, it's just that, you know? Is the fact that in the movie, they're just like, hey, let me just throw on a clip of the first movie so you can understand the joke being told. It just kind of threw me off, you know what I mean? It like obviously didn't fit to do that, yet they still did it. I don't know, bro. Anyways, we did manage to watch that movie. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi managed to crap out in, I think, the literal last like 3 minutes of the movie, so I just ended up watching that literally earlier today. But yeah, the movie's not awful. I thought it's a solid Adam Sandler movie, you know? It's honestly, my criteria for Adam Sandler movies is it better than his worst, which is Jack and Jill. And it is better than Jack and Jill. There were definitely a lot of jokes where I was like, that's really funny. I did not realize I accidentally paused the recording. I don't know when I did that. If I'm gonna look back and see y'all have missed out on like eons of gameplay, I might just end it. But like I was saying, nah, probably not that much. But like I was saying, however, it just kind of sucks. A lot of other like funny jokes of the movie is also like, hey guys, look at this. It's someone you know. Like they were just throwing in anyone, bro. They had Eminem. They got Bad Bunny. Margaret Qualley was in the film, which I definitely thought was insane. Because my dumb gamer brain is like Death Stranding lady. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, that's the lady from Death Stranding. But it's like, what is she doing here? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but Not as good as the first Abigail Moore. Anyways, want to thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day and or good night, depending on the time of viewing this. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.